Here we are. Let's do it.
Let's just go ahead
And do
and get it started. They say if you can make it feel, you'll make it. Yeah.
What did you just do? Was that your voice? All right, you just listen to yourself do poetry at home, just like around the house.
Let's get it started.
Oh my gosh.
Greetings. Welcome to the Poppa Pank podcast. I am Jaylene Clark Owens, and this is my friend and my co-host,
Jaylene Clark Owens.
There's a lot.
Happy April Fools.
We think it needs a little more Pank, a Poppa Pank. We are Philly-based, multi-hyphenated, and award-winning actors taking on all things arts and culture in this joy-forward and ever-playful variety podcast. You are listening to our theme song composed by Jordan McCree, member of the band Ill Dudes. We welcome you, our Pank Poppas, both old and new. Please rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. We appreciate y'all. And with that, let's get it started.
Hey, 2. We are 2 years old today. It was just like episode 1. Our Pank Poppa Paul pointed that out. Happy anniversary, Jaylene.
Happy anniversary, Justin.
Can you believe that this little podcast started 2 years ago in 2020 so that we wouldn't go insane during lockdown? You remember that?
I remember.
Remember how we wanted to start a joy-forward arts and culture podcast that uplifted POC voices and our own work?
Yes.
Remember how we had movie stars and music icons and famous playwrights and actors, designers, and artists on our show?
Yes.
Remember that we even featured travel bloggers and best friends and Santa and Mrs. Claus on this show?
I don't remember the last part.
Remember how we played a billion games and have done 55 freestyles?
Woo!
Do you remember how we took photos on the median on Broad Street and got catcalled by people driving by?
Ugh, yes, unfortunately, I remember that.
I know. We have done a lot on this show, and we are still going strong. Yes, everybody, today is April 1st, and it is not only a Fool's Day, but it is a day to say, hey, J-Lay and JJ, you are 2A today. So happy anniversary, J-Lay.
Yes.
And happy anniversary to our loyal Pank Poppas, our listeners, both old and new. Thank you for tuning in if you're listening for the first time, or if you're old like we are. Thank you. We just thank you all for supporting us and for listening and for sharing in our joy.
Yes. Happy Poppaversary to you as well. Our Pank Poppa Janice says happy birthday, Poppa Pank. Yes, we are a whole 2 years old. So thank you to everyone who has been riding with us for all this time. We are just, it seems like we're always celebrating here on Poppa Pank. Mm-hmm. Last episode, we were celebrating my birthday. It was my birthday eve, and Justin even surprised me with a pop-in from Tasha Marie Canales and James Imes. It was so much fun. If you missed that, make sure you just go ahead and watch the replay on YouTube or Facebook or listen where you get your podcast, because it was a time. Mm-hmm. Now, since we love to celebrate, let's celebrate 2 years of Poppa Pank with a toast. Yeah, I think it's about that time.
Mm-hmm.
Get your glass of weekend clank.
It's time for that. Poppa drank.
Poppa drank.
Poppa drank.
Poppa drank.
Poppa drank. And cheers. And
And
cheers.
cheers.
Arriba,
Arriba,
abajo,
abajo,
a
al
centro,
centro,
pa
pa
dentro.
dentro.
Jingle
Jiggle a
masakara,
masakara,
mabuhay,
mabuhay,
wello.
hello.
Jaylene, what are you drinking tonight and why?
I am basically just drinking juice is what's happening. I know that we have a special guest in Lindsay Smiling that will be on the show. And I remember during passage when I first started drinking whiskey.
Oh.
And that is because Lindsay and Tasha, they all you as well, y'all drank that stuff. I did
Yep.
not, but I started slowly. And so I had the smallest of drops left of some Evan Williams honey whiskey. So that is like this much of the glass, and then we just have some mango passion fruit juice from Trader Joe's.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, yes, in honor of our guest tonight and our anniversary, I am having a classy glassy of bourbon. So, I also happen to know that Lindsay is a bourbon lover, and he and I have been known to put a hurtin' on a bottle or two backstage after a show or a rehearsal. But he's also just a really top shelf kind of drinking buddy, both in his taste and in his personality. So, I'm having a glass of Maker's Mark to cheers him. I also happen to drink bourbon and wine on our first episode 2 years ago. So this drink is a double celebration. So here's to that.
Yes. So Pank Poppas, let us know what you are drinking in the comments. Jay, our Papa Pank Jay, otherwise known as Dad to me, says happy anniversary, Team Jay and Justin. And then Justin, what do we have here?
Maligayang bati. That's happy greetings to Papa Pank from
Say
Mama
it again.
Jane.
Say it again.
Maligayang bati.
Yes, you're going to teach me.
Maybe I said it wrong.
Well, Mama Jane, let us know if he pronounced it wrong. Thank you. Happy anniversaries are pouring into the comment section. Our Pank Papas drinking some water. Nothing wrong with that. 2 glasses of Pank Rosé, 1 for each year.
Right.
I love it. It is certainly making me so tickled Pank. Which brings us to our next segment, Tickled Pink. Now, Tickled Pink is where we usually talk about something that has recently been bringing us joy, and it's a bit of a catch up for Justin and I. So, Justin, what has you tickled pink these past few days?
Okay, so I saw where I'm starting local for my Tickled Pink, and I saw TJ Loves Sally by James Imes at Theater Horizon and Backing Track by R. Eric Thomas at the Art and Theater Company. It has been so nice to see our friends uplifted. Both James and Eric are friends of the podcast, have been here and have promoted their work. But it has been so nice to see them thriving in their on the stages at these companies, and to see live theater back at the places that we love. It's so wonderful to see friends of the podcast on stage as well. Danielle, Bijan No, Noel. We've seen a lot of these people here on this podcast, and to see humorous shows, to see some comedies at these theaters, and that the audiences were there. So it was really, really a special thing to see both TJ Loves Sally and Backing Track. Backing Track is still playing at the Arden, so if you missed it, make sure you see it. It closes in a couple weeks. So the second thing that is tickling me, Pank, is I started watching Lego Masters on Hulu. Have you seen Lego Masters?
No, what is that?
It is a competition reality TV show where they pair people and then they give them a prompt and then they have to build Legos in like 11 hours or 12 hours or something like that. It is so joyous and silly, and it was a recommendation of Brett Robinson, also a friend of the podcast, and it's on Hulu. But maybe the episodes are disappearing. I don't know how Hulu works. You know how it works? Sometimes like they come and go.
Yes.
I hope I didn't miss them. But what has had you tickled Pank this past week?
Well, last time we were here, it was the eve of my birthday. So my birthday celebration has happened and it was amazing. I called it J Coachella, because Coachella is a music festival that lasts a few days. And I realized this year that my birthday is also a festival that lasts a few days with various events. Various people attend. You may attend one event. You may attend them all. Lawrence is the only one who attended all of the events of J Coachella, and I appreciate that. So my dinner on my birthday, I got a massage, a facial, and a pedicure. And then we went to Plaza Azteca in King of Prussia, which was delicious. Then the next day we went to play pool at LVL, aka Las Vegas Lounge. And that was great because a lot of folks came. And then Friday, y'all, art, beats, and lyrics. It is given by Jack Daniels. We should have asked Jack Daniels to sponsor this episode.
Hello.
Because Lindsay was on, it would have fit right in with the theme.
Hello.
But let me tell you, Jack Daniels put on a nice little event, okay? If you ever hear art, beats, and lyrics coming into your town, make sure you go. It was free to RSVP. You got there and you got 2 drink tickets for free Jack Daniels cocktails. And it wasn't no watered down. No, these were like Jack and ginger, Jack on Jack, like Jack and lemonade, like 2 free drink tickets. They had free food there. They had all of this artwork that was beautiful artwork by Black artists on display for you to see and take pictures in front of. They had 3 different DJs that played throughout the night. The music was great. It was the first time I've danced in a long time, definitely since I had my surgery. So it was great to get out on the dance floor. And then they had a free concert featuring CeeLo Green. So we were front row. Like I could not believe how great of an event this was, and everything was free, and it was right at the Cherry Street Pier.
Oh, it was outdoors.
Yeah, so it was like, at Cherry Street Pier, it's indoors but outdoors. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which was great for a pandemic, and it was an amazing event. So absolutely enjoyed that. Lost my voice. My legs were sore. But it was a great time. And then finally we rounded out J Coachella with a trip to New York City to see the Michael Jackson musical on Broadway, which was absolutely incredible. I feel like I have read a review that was saying it wasn't that great. Do not listen to that. It was fantastic. Them people playing Michael killed.
Wait, so I don't know anything about this musical. Is it like telling the life story of Michael Jackson, or is it like a jukebox musical? It's just like all of his.
It kind of is telling the story of Michael Jackson, but framed around him preparing for his Dangerous tour.
Oh, cool.
And I felt like I was looking at Michael on the stage. Like it was really good. So that had me all kinds of tickled pink.
Well, all of this news is absolutely poppin'. But speaking of poppin', I think it's about that time for the segment you all have been waiting for. It is time for Poppin' with Poppa Pank.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, so we here on the podcast love our interview segment. And this is our chance to catch up with some of our industry friends and share with our audiences a little bit about their processes and personal stories as professional artists. This is where you've seen us hang out with people like James Imes, David Digg, Robin Hood, Tasha Marie Canales, Mama Pat, and a host of other film, TV, stage, and music artists.
Yeah, so we are so excited to welcome our special guest.
That little bit of bourbon in your drink.
Our special guest, Lindsay Smiling. Now, before we bring out Lindsay, let's get into the bio, because we're about to ask Lindsay some questions about the cherry orchard at the Wilma, which Justin is also a part of. So it'll be like a little combo interview. Ask some questions of Lindsay, ask some questions to both of them. It's going to be a whole thing. So let me read the bio. Lindsay. What's happening?
I don't know, but I love when this happens. This is my favorite thing. This makes for good podcasting. Just tripping on words.
That did not come out. Lindsay is what just came out. Okay. Lindsay Smiling is an award-winning actor and director and a member of the Wilma HotHouse resident acting company. He has appeared off Broadway and at over 30 different regional theaters across the country. He is co-founder of the Black Theater Alliance of Philadelphia and serves as a member of its steering committee. He is also an adjunct professor at Temple University. Please show some love as Justin brings in Lindsay Smiling.
Oh my goodness.
Lindsay, welcome to Poppa Pank. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing, and what is your Poppa drink tonight?
Oh man, I'm doing good. You know, I'm living the life. Like you know, I'm recently married and like that's amazing. And you know, I get the opportunity to work with some friends that I just love every day and seeing their faces. It's just yeah. I feel like
Yay.
really
What
lucky
is your
guy. Oh, my drink.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'm bourbon. Like
Yeah, we knew it. We knew it.
bourbon.
We
I got
called
my
it.
Spear Ice Cube.
Fancy.
Well, cheers. Cheers to
Cheers.
that.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
So we
I'm
are
glad-
going to ask you a few questions, if that's okay. And Jaylene will ask us both some questions about the cherry orchard at the Wilma. And then, because we are all about the shenanigans, we are going to play some games. So in the meantime, Pank Poppa's out there in our live studio audience. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments for Lindsay, and we'll do our best to get to some of them at the end of this little interview.
Yes. Now, Pank Poppas, if you have seen us before, you might recognize Lindsay from that one very special episode. The one time we did an episode in person together.
Oh, that was the one time we've done an episode in person. No, at the beach.
That's true. We did do a partial episode at the beach. But yes, that was our first full episode in person. And it was Lindsay and Tasha. And we had such a great time. So thank you, Lindsay, for being back with us again. Okay, so my first question. How did you come to call Philadelphia your theater home? And how would you say that Philadelphia has shaped your career?
Oh man. So I came out to Philadelphia for grad school at Temple University back in 2000, believe it or not. Came out from Chicago. I have a cat trying to climb up here right now.
Oh, cat.
I can bring up.
Yes.
Oh,
Hi.
Yay.
Hi. What's Kitty's name?
this is Max. There's another one, Alona, roaming around.
Hi, Max.
Is Max nice? Is Max a nice cat?
Max is a nice cat.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him down. He used to be really like skittish and run off, and now he lets us pick him up and everything.
Oh.
He's really sweet.
Nice.
And this is what happens. Like he just interrupts. You know, when I was teaching on Zoom over the pandemic, he, you know, clawing up here, meowing, all kinds of things.
Yes, Max.
So you came in 2000 to go to grad school. That's actually when I came to Philly too. I didn't know that we've been in Philly for equally long.
Yeah, well, so I went to grad school at Temple and like was, you know, getting more training. I didn't find acting until college. Like I went to a community college just outside of Chicago and like tried a bunch of majors, took some acting classes, transferred to Illinois State University, still was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so I wanted to take more classes. So I took acting and math. I double majored in math and theater.
Whoa.
And then I like was hanging out around Chicago afterwards, just kind of bartending. And I was like, I got to really try this if I'm going to try it. And that's when I went to grad school in Philly. And then after Philly, I got my equity card at Freedom Theater, doing a show about Robert Johnson. And actually before that, I got my first non-ec gig at the Wilma Theater with Yuri doing Resurrection Blues, a little tiny little walk-on part. And then I got my equity card right after that. And Walter Dallas, who was running the theater at the time, rest in power, he said, you should just go to New York. So in the middle of the run, I packed up my stuff and like Monday found a Craigslist ad, threw all my stuff into some random room in a 4-bedroom apartment, finished the run of the show, and was just like up there wandering around, not knowing what I was really doing. And Philly kept bringing me back to do work, which was great. And I was up in New York for about 9 years, and then I would come down to see shows or work on shows, and Blanca was starting to do these workshops with people, and I was like, this is a chance to grow as an artist, which is what I really wanted to do. It's why I got into the business in the first place, and that continual growth has been such a big driver for my career, to keep me going, to keep me inspired, to keep me like challenging myself. And I feel very lucky to be in Philadelphia as a theater town. I'm so inspired by all the artists in Philadelphia, and the theater, and the risk that gets taken here, and large theaters, small theaters. Yeah. It's a cool town, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's what has fed us all on this in this podcast. So, can you help our listeners get to know you a little personally a little bit more? What is something that is tickling you, Pank, nowadays? So you mentioned getting married, but this could also just be like a show you're vibing on, or just something good.
There's a lot that's tickling me, Pank, right now.
Yeah.
One thing that has been really exciting for me is Liz, my lovely wife, bought me a bass guitar.
Ooh.
And I've been teaching myself some bass guitar, throwing down some nice grooves when no one's around, so they can't hear me mess up too much. But that's been giving me a lot of joy, tickling the little strings.
Yeah.
And also, we Liz and I have been watching a few programs. One that's really fun, and it just like gives us so much joy is there's a couple actually, but one I'm thinking about is The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah.
This one.
It's just, I mean, Jeff Goldblum is so weird.
Yep.
And he's so like has so much kind of wonder, and you think, is he putting it on? And I think he is putting it on a little bit, but it's also just him. And so he does like an episode on sneakers, and he'll like go to like a sneaker factory, and like they put computers on him, and he's kind of goofing around in it. And I don't know, he just gets so and he connects it to some big like meaning of life thing at the end of each episode, and it's really cool. So we're digging on that. We're also watched that show. We still revisit it. Somebody feed Phil. It's a travel show.
I don't know that one.
About food?
It's food. It's food, but it's also like, this is why this place on earth is really special. And this guy Phil Rosenthal, who was a writer on Everybody Loves Raymond, he goes around, and he's just a goofball. I think I like goofballs.
Well, you've come to the right podcast.
You've come to the right podcast for that. That's for sure.
That is awesome. I have not heard of those shows, so I am going to be sure to take a look at those, because I like, contrary to popular belief, I do like watching TV. Justin.
Talk to James.
Yeah, it is really James. They think I don't watch anything. Anyway, okay. So let's pivot a bit to talking about the cherry orchard.
we all did a
actors, my gosh. So let's talk about the cherry orchard. So Justin, can you give us a brief synopsis of the play, The Cherry Orchard? And then Lindsay, can you tell us why this version that you all are doing at the Wilma will be unlike any that we have ever seen? So Justin first, brief synopsis.
Okay, so The Cherry Orchard is considered like a Russian masterpiece by the playwright Anton Chekhov. He wrote this in 1903, and so this is the last play he wrote. And this is also at a time when Russia was in great change. A lot of things were changing culturally and around in the world. But this play zooms into this one family who owns this manor that has an orchard, a cherry orchard, and they've found themselves in financial troubles, so they are losing this orchard. It's going to be foreclosed, and they're kind of in denial of that. They really want to hold on to the way things used to be, hold on to the house. But then there's a character that's trying to give them hope, that's saying you can save everything and also evolve into the future if you just sell the orchard. But the family that owns it can't make a decision one way or the other, and so thus drama ensues. It's actually a really simple plot, but it's complex in its character sort of intersections, and also in the commentary that it's making about the world around this one small incident, which is really exciting because that incident was in 1903 something different, but actually still carries to today. The conflict surrounding this one small thing and the world that's around that one small thing.
Okay.
Did I hit that about right, Lindsay?
That's way better than what I could do.
Awesome. Okay, and so now, Lindsay, why is this version? Because a lot of people have heard of the Cherry Orchard, they've seen it, they've read it. Okay. So why is this version unlike any that someone has seen?
Oh man, where to begin with that question? Because this is a crazy production of this, and I mean that in all the best sense. Like, Dmitry Krymov, who's a really famous director around the world, except for America, because that's how we do. He breaks open this story, and we're doing about 30%, and that's kind of like the skeletal structure of the Cherry Orchard. And then on top of it, we're kind of playing this game with these characters and this plot of like popping in and out of it, and bringing our own identities into these stories, and bringing in the events of what's happening around us right now into the story. So there's both like contemporary references, and then there's references to the original source material. And it's this game that we as actors are improvising every single time we run through the show. So there's like things that are somewhat set, like there's events that are set, but like the words around it is completely improvised every night. And we've settled it into a few things that we say over and over again, but it really will be a brand new show every single time you go see that show, because it is interactive. Number one, there are definitely food items that get sprayed around the stage from time to time, and not just one food item, a couple food items. And there's risk involved in the events that you're watching. Like you're kind of, every time I watch us run it, because we're just running it now as much as possible, I'm just like on the edge of my seat, like what's going to happen today? What's gonna come out? What is how are they going to deal with this new arrangement of the furniture, or this slight body, different blocking that they've created? How are they going to interact with the audience? Because we have a couple people watching the show every day. And what are they going to do? And it's just, it's really thrilling to work on. It's scary.
I bet.
It is, and like trying to hit the right note with this skeleton is a great challenge. And I think it's really poignant about making something that is both, goes back to the original text of Cherry Orchard, but draws a direct line to where we are now. I think you feel that connection, and that's a really powerful thing.
So. Wow, that is incredible. I cannot wait to see the show, and sounds like I need to see it multiple times, because it will be a different show each time. So yeah, I am looking forward to that. We will put all the information towards the end of the episode for you all to make sure that you check it out. But speaking of today, you mentioned like how you're incorporating some of what's going on today into the production. So I was curious about that. This production is being directed by a Russian director, Dmitry Krymov. Is that how you say his last name? Krymov. And the Cherry Orchard itself is written by a Russian playwright, Anton Chekhov. So how has the current war in Ukraine affected the process of working on this play? And either one of you can answer.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, both the Wilma Theater and our director Dmitry Krimov and all of the Russian artists that are working on this are have a hard anti-war stance and stand with the people of Ukraine, and we're pretty vocal about that and pretty public about that. So it's been really interesting to bring in current events into the room. Every At the start of the process is right when the war started, and so it was very evident that this was affecting directly some of the artists in the room. At this point, you know, some of these artists have been displaced and came over here and are wondering if they're ever going back. And a lot of personal stories were shared about how it's affecting them personally and their friends both in Russia and in Ukraine. And so it's in the room. And in terms of like how it's affected the piece is definitely informed by those things. It's not about those things, but there are things that we've talked about in the room, and then you go right into rehearsal and there's a gravity, or there's a kind of there's a different frame, a different thing in the back of your mind as you're talking about motherland. Like just saying that word after having had an hour-long discussion with your director, just the way you say the word will be colored in a new way. So it's subtle, but it's ever present. And I think Lindsay has a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to this. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, and he wants me to keep this moment evolving as the process goes on. So I'm listening to the news and you know, seeing how it affects it. But he really wants a moment where we kind of stop the events of the show and explain the construct of the philosophy of theater, but then also bring in the war in Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we say that this is happening right now, and why theater is important. And I have to improvise a monologue around that in that moment. And it's, and you know, and it's scary, but it's also a moment of like challenging myself to be really honest in that moment. And that's, I think, one of the great challenges of this is being honest in what we can do, and honest in our sensitivity, and honest in being with each other in a theater, and sharing this experience, and being willing to kind of give over to the story. And so there's that. There's also you know, having, I feel like having worked with these artists from Russia, that you know, the sense that the dynamics of how war affects people, even if you're from the country that is instigating the war, like they feel like the culture of Russia has been bombed. It's disappearing. It's being eradicated. The assault is also on Russian culture from their point of view. And that was really complex to handle every day, to deal with that, working on this Russian playwright who I guess you know, is from Kharkov. I think Chekhov, I think he was saying that is from Kharkov, which is Ukraine. So
really?
Yeah, it's such a you know, it gives perspective, and it ties us into so many other things that are happening in the world. And it just you know, it just makes me want to, like, let's get our stuff together. Like, people, come on, people of the world,
Yes.
get our stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know y'all are doing great work. So I am so excited to see it. And yes, we will let you know all the deets.
I am excited to share it. And this is just a little reminder that if you have any questions out there, Pank Poppas, that are live with us right now, questions for either myself or Lindsay or about the Cherry Orchard, please drop them in the comments and we will do our best to get to them.
Yes. Okay. So we only have 2 more questions. What character do you play in the show? This is for both of you. And do you feel this character is totally opposite of who you are, very similar to who you are, or kind of somewhere in the middle? So Justin, you go first.
Oh man. So I play Yermole Lopakin, which has been a dream role of mine since college, actually. Fun fact, so in my junior year of college, my acting studio professor, Rick Stoppelworth, we were studying our Chekhov unit, and he was assigning everybody like these things that nobody really knew. But then he said, I need you to play Lopakin, and I need you to also play Astrov. So he gave me Astrov first to work on, and then that warmed me up enough to play Lopakin. And we spent most of the semester working on a big monologue that my character has in the show. And I was so baffled. I was like, what does he see in me that was like, you of these 14 people in this room have to do this role? So fast forward, 20 something years, and then Dmitry Krimov is like, you're going to play Lopakin, not knowing any of the story. So I've been thinking about a lot about this, about like, what is it about me that is Lopakin? And Chekhov wrote this role for Stanislavski, so the sort of godfather of acting. He wrote this role for him, and he said, Lopakin should be soft and gentle, but also with a little bit of a something dangerous there. And I think that is actually pretty apropos of who I am. Soft and gentle, but there's always like this little like other thing that's bubbling. And I'm a pretty stubborn person, and I think all of those are what my character is. Now, my character in the play is the one that's saying, sell the orchard, move on, future, money, capitalism, all of these things. That's what will set you free. That's not what I believe necessarily, but the act of being forward and being kind of aggressively trying to give somebody hope is sort of, despite like being a broken person, is sort of who I am. And I think they kind of really hit the mark there. And I'm discovering a lot about myself actually through the character. And what the audiences will see at the Wilma is improvised by us. So it's actually a large part, not necessarily like I'm the character's trying to meet. I'm trying to meet the character. It's more like the character's trying to meet me. And that's been really, really joyous to play with. What about you, Lindsay?
Yeah, it's been interesting working on this character. I play Gaev, who I actually worked on in grad school. I worked on Gaev in the Cherry Orchard. It's so odd, that these characters keep revisiting us. And Gaev is the brother of Luba Renoskaya, who's they are the family of the Cherry Orchard, and he's kind of this was an aristocrat at one point, just has money, but kind of is really has a lot of useless knowledge, I think, and has a lot of he talks a lot and doesn't really do a lot. He's a bit helpless in many respects. He can't really take care of the things that need to be taken. He just kind of thinks about things and waxes poetic. And there's definitely, I definitely definitely love to just think about ideas in my head and like put them out there. But I do see myself as more of just like, I'm just gonna go do something. I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know what's gonna happen. So so there's some departure, but it's been interesting tackling Gaev because I do find so much joy in the non sequiturs, which is that's a huge part of me. I love a non sequitur. I love things that are totally disconnected from any conversation that is happening in front of me. And
well,
wait, I will say it has been a joy to watch Lindsay, to watch you play this character, and new. I've never seen you do anything like this. Gaev is so so funny. You're just so funny in this role, and it's really exciting because in rehearsals, Dmitry, he's been basically like, everybody has, a material and a track to do. And he told Lindsay, you can do whatever the heck you want. And Lindsay's like, okay. And then he just runs with it. And it is so funny to watch you just like be chasing your silly bone and your silly impulses, because I don't know if a lot of audiences know that you have that. That's like really in you, that kind of really silly, playful, kid-like energy. And because we see you often playing dramatic roles or something heavy or something big or something aggressive or whatever. So I think this is a new color, at least in the time of the HotHouse to see you play?
Yeah, usually the stuff I'm saying as Gaev are the things I'm saying quietly in the corner or in the back of the crowd, just to myself, and like I don't really care if anybody hears it, and I'm just like, remember, I'll just say it, and so it has been like fun to just throw it out there and just like run wild with it and be surprised. I love being surprised, and this character has given me a really great opportunity to surprise myself every single time. Of like, there's a sequence of like I'm trying to find a non sequitur. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a moment that ask a series of questions, and I'm always trying to find the most random questions I could ask.
It's my favorite. It's my secret favorite part of the show.
Well, speaking of random questions, that actually brings us to what we're about to do right now, and that is play rapid fire questions.
Yes.
So look at that.
We have moved into our Pank game. So, Lindsay, this is the point when we're going to play some games with you now that we've gotten all the business out of the way. So this first one is rapid fire questions, 10 questions, boom, boom, boom. Say the first thing that comes to your mind. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. It ain't that deep. You got this. All right. Here we go. 1. What's the last song you heard?
Wildflowers by
Tom Petty?
No. It's Warm Doucher.
Warm Doucher. Okay.
I've never heard that band, but that's a great name. Okay,
it's
number 2.
Hilarious song.
What is your favorite snack?
Oh, peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I was not expecting that.
I thought you were going to say peanut butter like cookie, peanut butter pretzel.
No.
But okay. Oh wow, I'm learning about you. Okay.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Good. Yeah, number 3, a new pandemic hobby you've picked up, not bass guitar.
A brain game app.
Yes,
brain game app. Okay, next one: slipping on cherries or tumbling down a big white slide.
Tumbling down a big white slide.
Okay, a Wilma memory.
A Wilma memory is I'm thinking of my first audition for Yuri, which I had can I tell the story? Is it too rapid? So I had this. It was this play called Resurrection Blues. Takes place in South America, and I was playing this military guy who had maybe 5 lines in the whole play. And I get this side, and it's 2 pages of sides, and I have 3 lines, all in Spanish. And I walk into the room like ready to go, and it's just Yuri, no reader, nobody else in the room. And I go, and he's like, "Just begin." And I'm like, "What? How? What? Do you want me to read the other lines? Do you want me to like what? He's like, "Just start at the top." And so I'm looking at the lines and like, "Sí, señor. No bueno." Gracias. And then so that was the end of the sides, and then he doesn't say anything. And so I just like slowly like back out of the room. And I leave. Without him saying anything else.
No, I think Wilma audition stories need to be their own podcast, because every single person I know has a gem.
I mean, 3 hours later, I got the offer. So
that's amazing.
Okay, back to rapid fire questions.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. A tip for visiting Chicago.
Deep dish pizza, man.
Which one? This is a bonus question. Which one?
Man. My Pie used to be my favorite place, but I don't think they're around anymore.
Okay.
But you can't go wrong with Illuminati's.
Okay, next rapid fire. What's up with your last name?
My last name is a mistake. My last name was generations ago was Milling. My parents are from Belize, and my great grandfather was born out in the countryside, and they took him to register his name with government, but this Jamaican lady was taking care of him, and they couldn't really understand her dialect, so they instead of milling, it became smilling, which then became smiling.
Wow. I
that's
love that
amazing.
story.
That's so good. Okay. The movie or the book?
The book.
Okay.
The book is better, but
Okay.
I often see the movie first.
A favorite play?
Moon Man Walk.
A favorite behavior of a student that you're teaching?
Oh, a favorite behavior is when they just say, "Excuse me, Professor Smiling," like calling me Professor Smiling. Just,
That's really sweet. I also want to
really
just backlog Moon Man Walk. Jaylene and Lindsay were both stars in the premiere of that by James Imes, and you killed it, both of you. A dream role on stage or in a film?
A dream role, man. I have such a hard time with that, but I will say, I would love to play Bob Marley.
Ooh.
You kind of did in Romeo and Juliet at the Wilma, a little bit.
Kind of.
Okay.
Not really.
Just two more. Say happy anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. And the last one is name something pink.
My tie. Come on.
Yes.
I brought it today.
It's a Poppa.
This was going to be my wedding tie, but I
Oh,
switched it out for something else. So this is actually the first time I'm wearing it.
Yes. We're
it's a
honored.
good tie. It's a good tie. All right. We're going to play a game now that you're warmed up, and this is called Smush. So this is you may have played a Smush before, but we're going to give you 3 clues. And each answer bleeds into the next. You can only answer when you have the full answer done. So the way this might look is I might say the answer might be Boys to Men and Blackjack. So the first clue might be like, a 90s R&B band, boy band. The second one might be a movie starring Will Smith, where aliens are featured. And then the last one might be like a game you play in a casino. So Boys to Men and Blackjack. And you can only answer when you have all 3. You got it?
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. And Pank Poppas, we know that there is a 20-second delay. So if you all get it before one of us gets it, feel free to write it in the comments. Okay, Justin,
you go first.
Okay.
And right. Lindsay, both you and I are playing when Jaylene goes, and both you and Jaylene are playing when I go.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to finish writing my clues for this one. Okay, hopefully I'll I'll make it up. Okay, so the first clue is this guy has a holiday named after him. Actually, it's the holiday that is the day after my birthday on March 17th, involves Irish people.
Yep.
Okay, so that guy. Then the second one is our lovely stage manager at the Wilma, goes by Mama Blank, her full name. And then the third clue is a show.
Saint Petronelli Adams Family.
Yeah.
Adams Family. Yes.
Yay. That was good. I was actually stumped on St. Patrick's. St. Pat's. Yeah. That's good. Okay, you ready? That's 1 point for Lindsay. All right. Yes. The first one is, this is a movie from the 80s, but it also has this theme song that goes bum 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 bum. Okay, the second one is a little bug that can bite you. That is also makes hills. But they're usually red. And then the last one is the playwright of the Cherry Orchard.
Chariots of Fire, Anton Chekhov.
Hey, that's good. Chariots of Fire, Anton Chekhov. You're doing great, Lindsay.
I wasn't gonna get that first one, so yep.
Okay, I knew it. I saw you just sort of give up.
I did. Okay, here we go. The first clue is a famous chain restaurant known for being like an upscale steakhouse. It has two first names in their title. The second one is the comedian that got smacked recently. And the third one is a game you play with your hands that commences once you both say shoot.
Ruth's Chris Rock Paper Scissors.
Yes.
That was a good one. Okay.
I can never remember if it's Ruth's Chris or Chris Ruth's.
Chris Ruth's. Okay. All of mine have a theme, as you'll see. All right. The first one is where you go to send your mail. The second one is what is at your desk that can like sort of swivel and you sit on it. And then the last one is the play that Lindsay and I are in.
Post office cherry orchard.
Post office cherry orchard.
That's good.
Okay, two.
That's
like
good.
3 for Lindsay. I don't know. 2, 1.
Yeah, Lindsay has like 3, I think.
Yes, I got 1.
Let's
go.
All right, my last one is another one of those kind of they bleed into one another. So
great.
Think of that.
Smush-ish.
So, yes. So the first clue is a street in North Philly near Temple on the Broad Street line. It's blank Dolphin Station. Yeah, blank. Okay, I feel like Lindsay should know because Lindsay,
I know
you be on that Temple train.
I don't take that train.
You don't take oh yeah, you be biking.
I ride my bike.
Okay, but you might. I think you know the street. It's also like a native. It's like a Native American name also. So blank Dolphin Station is the word I'm thinking of. Second clue: Miley Cyrus's alter ego from Disney. And then the third clue is an amazing playwright and actress, Black woman, known for playing multiple characters in her one-woman shows, such as Fires in the Mirror or Twilight Los Angeles. That one might be a little hard.
Oh.
She also played the mom on Blackish at one point.
Oh man, I'm horrible at names.
Do you have the first 2?
I have the first 2.
I don't have the last one.
And I don't think anyone in the comments has the answer either.
Susquehanna, Montana, something.
Susquehanna. Yes! Boom!
Got it. You pulled it out. Wait, say the full thing.
Susquehanna, Montana, DeVere Smith.
Yes!
Yes!
Lindsay is the new champ of Smush.
Wow, you're doing really good. I feel like you could give Akeem a run for his money. I've got one last one.
King of culture tags, but Lindsay is the king of Smush.
Let's see how you're going to do on this King of Smush. And this is kind of one just for you, but let's see if Jaylee can get it. All right. At the start of the cherry orchard, it's how late the train is. It's less than 2, but more than 1. The second one is the thing that happens in between the first part of football and the second part of football at the Super Bowl. And then the last one is a famous quote from Jerry Maguire where he's on the phone and he goes, "Mama, mama."
Oh, lost.
So hour and a half time, show me the money.
Yes.
Woo!
Hour and a half time, show me the money. Wow, Lindsay, you really killed that.
Wow. That was awesome, Lindsay.
Yep.
You just, man. Okay, here we are at the end of our episode. Lindsay just blew us away. And now it is time for the main event, the Pank freestyle. So reminder, Justin and I are not professional freestylers. We are just having a good old little time. So I'm gonna give Justin a word to do his rhyme about. He'll give you and you'll give me. So Justin, I guess what have we been talking about? We've been talking about cherries. So
Okay.
cherries.
Cherries. I'm red, I'm squishy, I'm sweet inside. I'm ready to play, and I won't hide. I'm a cherry. You're a person. Eat me up, take me home, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be alone. Okay. Okay.
Very good.
All right. So Lindsay, your
Oh, no.
topic. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna try to go easy here because
Oh, no.
you were so good in the smush and you got game. So your theme is game.
Game?
Game.
Oh, man. Don't come at me with your silly games.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, life's all the same. You win, you lose. Sometimes you have to choose who's on your side, who's on your team. Know what I mean? So in this game of life, let's all come together, stop all this strife, and let's all be lovers.
Yeah. That was great. I thought that was really good. Okay.
I love that.
Give Jaylene hers to take us home.
Oh, I'm choosing a topic?
Yep.
Oh, okay, Jaylene.
Oh boy.
In honor of my influence on you,
Oh Lord.
whiskey.
Oh man. Okay. This is sounding like a Keem's rhyme he did that time. Whiskey, whiskey.
Oh yeah.
So glad that you picked me. You used to be too strong, but I was wrong because Lindsay taught me which ones to drink, and now I can have my whiskey neat. I don't even have to think.
Yo, that
Nice.
was really nice. That was dice. That was dice. Okay. So Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us. But before you go, can you remind us what projects you have coming up? We'll help you.
Well, yeah, we got the Cherry Orchard coming up.
Wait. Okay,
Oh,
here we go.
yeah, Cherry Orchard, April 12th to May 1st. Yeah, and then after that, Fairview, May 31st to June 18th. Much Ado About Nothing. You got it all right here for me. July 13th to August 7th, up at Pennsylvania Shakespeare Festival in DeSales, on DeSales University campus. Yeah.
Hashtag working actor.
Booked
You are
and busy.
busy.
Well, thank you so much, Lindsay. Pank Poppas, please make sure that you go and follow Lindsay on Instagram. His page is at el.smiling. The website is lindsaysmiling.com. This was awesome. You are officially crowned King of the Smush. And you are welcome on our podcast anytime you want because we love you. So thank you.
So much fun. Thank y'all.
Love
Yay.
you. Bye.
Bye, Lindsay. Oh. Well,
Okay.
here we
So,
are.
Lindsay
On the
told us.
dot.
Lindsay told us about his upcoming events. Now it's our turn to share some things to look out for in a segment we like to call Pank Forecast.
Pank Forecast.
Jaylene, what do you have coming up?
On April 25th, I have my open mic at the Wilma Theater featuring Lindo. Yes, this is the first time we are returning in person since pre-pandemic time. So please join us on Monday, April 25th at 7 p.m. in the Wilma lobby. You can come to listen or share. We're sharing artwork, poetry, or music inspired by the Cherry Orchard. So see the Cherry Orchard, come to the open mic. Even if you see the open mic and then go see the Cherry Orchard, it's all good. I just hope that you join us.
Yeah, and I just want to say that one more time, April 12th through May 1st, the Cherry Orchard at the Wilma Theater. It is starring myself and Lindsay Smiling and multiple members and guests of the HotHouse acting company at the Wilma. You do not want to miss this one, please.
Yes, come out and see us. And since this is year 2 years ago we were here, We really quickly will just share some of our Pank memories and resolutions before we close. So one of my favorite Poppa Pank memories was the episode where we had Tasha and Akeem as guests. It was our first time having two guests on the show at one time. They both had a bunch of family and friends in the chat, and we just had such a great time playing culture tags. And we got a legendary freestyle from Akeem that I still play from time to time, in which he sings a ballad about an amazing conch salad in Miami. It was amazing. Episode 7, if you want to rewatch it. Justin, what was one of your favorite Pank memories?
Well, I really loved episode 21. That was our Halloween Poppa lunch in 2020. This was in the middle of lockdown. I was in a Wilma bubble in the Poconos filming Heroes of the Fourth Turning. We got to tour that scary house that I was living in. We interviewed Campbell O'Hare. We were in costumes. And then we played a game called Ghost, Witch, Vampire, or One of Us, where we had to guess if what we were posing was one of those things. And it was really surprising how many of those were one of us.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. Okay. And our last thing, my new Pank's resolution is for this show to get some sponsors. So whether that's, just a little sponsor for the money or sponsoring our Poppa Drank segment with some beverages, that's my resolution. What's your resolution for Poppa Pank?
Well, I want to book a lot more guests. I love when we have guests on the show and try to think of some more segments. So we're going to bring some new segments at you in the year ahead.
Yes. So our next episode, now we're going, as you heard, Justin is going into performance. So we have to switch it up a little bit. So our next episode is going to be a Poppa lunch. It will be Friday, April 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. So grab your lunch and join us for some afternoon shenanigans.
Yes. And remember, in addition to always being able to rewatch our past episodes when you are needing a Poppa Pank fix, you can also tune into our podcast every Monday. Mixed in with current episodes, we continue to release our Pank Popbacks, which feature interviews with past guests and content you may have missed in the past couple years.
And what's your proverb about letting go? Because I feel like that's maybe a theme in the play.
Yes. Okay. So again, I don't know idioms and I get them wrong all the time. But one about letting go that I can think of is, when life gives you the stuff, you just got to make some other stuff. It's lemons and lemonade.
Other stuff. Yes. When life gives you the stuff, you just got to make some other stuff. Profound words from Justin Jane. And if those didn't inspire you to donate, I don't know what will. But we would really love your donations to keep Poppa Pank going. You can feel free to Cash App us. We're $ Poppa Pank or paypal.me/Poppa Pank. This helps us to keep the lights on in StreamYard, keep us on Buzzsprout where we do our podcast episodes, and bring on our guests. So yes, thank you.
And we want to just, for our credits, have some thanks here. We want to thank Jordan McCree, who wrote our music, Tracy A. Cassius, we love you, our studio editor, all of our past guests, and Lindsay Smiling tonight, and you, our followers, our Pank Poppas. Thank you so much who are tuning in with us right now. Please plug us on all the social medias. And Lindsay, if you're out there, Janice Owens wants you to know, Lindsay, you have a beautiful smile. We couldn't agree more.
All right. And with that, we are going to say bye.